Welcome back to International Star Media, the Gold Star Standard. At the Gold Star Standard, reactions, reviews, and news you can use. Once again, I am your host, International Yada, for the records and the dollars. And hey, check this out. We moving to Arkansas on this one. If you post and or assist in posting someone 18 or under on any adult sites or adult themed sites in the state of Arkansas, you will be charged with a felony and also forced to register as a sex offender. We got new laws coming down the pipeline. Senate Bill 328. Let's get off into this. Senate Bill 328. The age of consent in Arkansas was 18 years of age and older. With this new bill that was passed, 18 years old is now considered a minor. You heard me right. 18 years old in Arkansas is now considered a minor. Let's get off into this. Here we go. Senate Bill 328 to amend the law concerning computer crimes against minors. Y'all pay attention to this. Summary. The bill amends existing laws concerning computer crimes against minors in Arkansas by redefining the age of a child from under 17 years to under 18 years. The change is reflected in the definitions and provisions related to affirmative defense for distributing, possessing, or viewing sexually explicit material involving minors. Specifically, it establishes that a defendant can assert an affirmative defense if they reasonably believe that depicted individual was 18 years of age or older. It's a part 2 to this. Here we go. Additionally, the bill modifies the procedures for determining the age of individuals depicted in sexually explicit conduct. It requires the state to prove beyond a reasonable doubt that a person appears to be under 18 years of age in any visual representation. The tier of fact is mandated to make the determination through various methods, including personal inspection and examination of the relevant materials, while removing the option for expert medical testimony. Overall, these amendments aim to strengthen protection for minors in the context of computer crime. To sum it all up, if the person you're dealing with is 18 years of age and or under, you will be charged with a felony in the state of Arkansas. OnlyFans, escort, adult escort site. Pay attention to what's going on out here. You don't want to get caught up in this. We already went over time and time and time again what the elements they need in human trafficking and or sex trafficking to find you guilty of a crime.
Thank you.
Those elements are force, fraud, coercion, violence, and or the threats of violence. But I don't want you to forget that if you are dealing with a minor, which is a major problem out here, these people out here, women and men, dealing with minors, they don't need to prove those elements: force, fraud, coercion, violence, and or threats of violence. If you deal with a minor and they find you guilty, they automatically give you the life and or the maximum sentence that it comes with. So take heed, pay attention, stay alert, be aware of what's going on. Check out what the news had to say about this. Pay attention now. All right. Here we go.
Arkansas Governor Sarah Huckabee Sanders officially signing 2 bills this week aimed at strengthening protection of minors from sex crimes. 5 News reporter Kayla Davis here now in the studio to talk about this. And looking into both bills, what did you find out?
Darren, Act 361 changes the definition of a child from anyone 17 years old and under to now 18 years old and under. And Act 362 broadens the requirements for lifetime registration as a sex offender. According to the child well.
Y'all heard that right. Lifetime registration as a sex offender. That's what they're going to put on you if you get caught up in this. The age of consent in Arkansas is no longer 18. It's 19. Pay attention.
Welfare League of America. Human trafficking is the second largest criminal industry in the world. Lawmakers in Arkansas are working to tackle the issue through legislation. This week, Governor Sanders signed into law 2 bills that prosecutors say will help put away sex offenders.
There was a case where, upon appeal, some of the images that were used in the conviction of a sex predator, those images were overturned, and based on kind of the definitions around how these images were displayed,
the predator involved in that case ended up going free. That prompted Senator Missy Irvin and her constituents to draft a bill clarifying that definition.
In this piece of legislation, Now Act, we have changed that definition from the age of 17 to 18 to make sure that that's clarified. We're talking about these images of these children and how they are shown and how they are viewed.
They also added new criteria to the sex offender lifetime registry. An offender over 24 years old at the time of the crime, whose victim was under 15, will now be required to register.
At age 25. That's enough time not only to graduate high school, that's enough time to go get a degree. That's enough time to go serve your country and be successfully discharged. That's honestly enough time to go get a degree and probably a postgraduate degree. That's a lot of life experience on down the line versus somebody who's 14-year-old.
Benton County Prosecutor Brian Sexton says Benton County receives sex offender cases often.
And it's depressing when you start to think about it, but unfortunately, if we don't enforce laws like this, that's the outcome. We've got a lot more victims out there who will need our help, and changes like this will give us additional means to deal with these offenders.
Last year, Arkansas State Police's human trafficking force reportedly identified 134 victims during their recovery operations. Senator Irvin says they have passed other laws this legislative session and will continue to draft up bills to address this issue in the state.
You heard it right there. You will be charged. You will be put on the sex offenders list. This is something that you don't want to get caught up in. I suggest that you don't do it. I suggest that you stay abreast, stay alert, stay in tune to what's going on involving these laws from state to state. Pay attention. International Star Media, the Gold Star Standard, at the Gold Star Standard. Reactions, reviews, and news you can use. Once again, I am your host, International Yada, for the records and the dollars. And hey, we'll see you on the next one. Don't forget to like, subscribe, comment, and share the video.